Rumors are that former Real Housewives of Atlanta friend of the show, Latoya Forever, may be making a big return to the franchise. How true is this rumor? Well, I have some new information that may answer that question and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified, so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. All right, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around rumors that allegedly former Real Housewives of Atlanta friend of the show, Latoya Forever, may be making a big return to the franchise. How true is this rumor? Well, I have some new information that may answer that question and more, and here it goes. Rumors are that allegedly Real Housewives of Atlanta producers are strongly considering bringing Latoya Forever back to the franchise. A source said ratings for Real Housewives of Atlanta are back up. However, behind the scenes, many feel that won't be enough for the cast to avoid a shakeup next season. The message from fans has been clear. They want the old nostalgia shade fest and genuine frenemy formula back at Real Housewives of Atlanta. The source continued, this has been somewhat of a hard task to accomplish because the bigger former Real Housewives of Atlanta names have essentially burned their bridges back to the network. So, allegedly, producers are now playing with the idea of bringing in a mixture of OG housewives and former friend of the show cast members. These former friend of the show cast members are seen as people who potentially have the future of becoming an iconic housewife. But can this formula work? Can Latoya finally secure a peach on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Well, industry insiders point to new developments in Latoya's life that are the perfect mixture for a future iconic housewife. First, she has a clear and juicy storyline with current cast members that fans are eating up. And secondly, there has been a very active campaign on social media wanting producers to give second chances to ladies who may have been let go after only one season, who fans feel had the potential to become stars of the franchise. And fans are really taking notice to Latoya's viability. One fan commented on Housewives ATL that Latoya is in her new era. New man, new house, new baby coming. It's time Bravo give her a juicy peach and a fat check. We need her back as soon as possible. And many fans agree. Many think Latoya is the missing puzzle piece to higher ratings this season. The dynamic between her and Drew would be iconic, said another fan. All sources agree that a Latoya return would serve the network, producers, and the franchise very well. For Latoya's part, she is perfectly positioned to take advantage of these sentiments. One, said the source, she represents the younger castmates that if the network decided to do a total reboot overhaul, then she will fit right in with the younger demographic direction. And two, she already has a working relationship with the current cast members. So if there isn't a complete cast overhaul, she will still fit right on in. So for now, Latoya, ended the source, just has to continue successfully shadow marketing herself, and we could possibly see a return to the franchise. Now, kinfolk, that is some information that I got regarding a rumor of Latoya potentially returning back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I must say, when I first got this information, I saw it as something that could possibly happen because of this one reason. Right off the bat, Latoya And along with Shamari, I think are two cast members who definitely deserve a second chance at being housewives in Atlanta. One, I will say this, and this is going to be a little biased, but Shamari is my favorite housewife who only got one chance. I call him a one season wonder. But Shamari is like my favorite one season wonder. I really do believe that Shamari has the potential to be an iconic housewife. And along with Latoya. And I do think that a lot of times when you're looking at a situation that the Atlanta franchise is having with getting new, fresh faces, you have to look at the fact that producers may end up having to go back into their bag of previous housewives, because the running story is that a lot of successful, prominent women in Atlanta are refusing to do the show, one, because they're become very image conscious, or because their husbands are in businesses or industries where they can't have their reputation or their image sullied in any type of way. So if you are to believe those rumors about how hard it has been to cast the Atlanta show, then one could imagine that producers are probably going to have to go back into their bag of previous housewives who've been a part of the show to bring them back in order to add some type of new faces and new dynamics, new storylines to the franchise. And when you look at it like that, I think Shamari and also Latoya are perfect fits. Especially Latoya right now, because between the two, she does have the most clear and fresh storyline connection to the cast. And when she left, even though there was some friction, it wasn't enough friction between her and all the cast members to where they would probably gang up and say, no, we don't want her back, or no, we're not filming with her. So I think that too, Latoya left the franchise in pretty good shape. That left a lot of doors open to her returning whenever or if she wanted to. Now, with that being said, the next part of this rumor that I find very interesting, and it has to do with Porsha, and it's this. You know, we've been reporting here on the channel that Porsha is definitely trying to make a return back to the franchise. This rumor has been out all summer long. I do believe that if producers brought Porsha back along with Latoya, then that would add a freshness to the group dynamic. And that way, we really wouldn't need an entire cast overhaul. And you know, I've been talking to my sources about this entire cast overhaul reboot that has been plaguing the rumor mills with the Atlanta franchise for quite some time now over the summer. And when you look at the dynamic between Porsha and Latoya, it was enough friction there between the two to where we could get that, you know, old nostalgia Real Housewives of Atlanta frenemy relationship and Shade Fest back with one another. Because the one thing about those two ladies, they never really just took it there. If they ever did have beef and drama, it was always, everyone knew their limit. And it didn't get dark or anything like that. So I do believe that bringing Latoya and Porsha back together may be the duo that may actually help take the ratings back to a consistent 1 million+ viewers every week. Now, like my sources were saying, there are some other factors that could very well contribute to Latoya coming back to the show. And another factor is this. My sources are saying that allegedly Andy Cohen is a fan of Latoya's. I didn't know this. A lot of people are saying that, you know, Andy really likes Latoya allegedly and what she brought to the franchise. It's just that the group of ladies and dynamic that she was a part of, Real Housewives of Atlanta, was in a very tough spot at the time, and they really couldn't take a chance on having so many newbies on the show. And so they had to bring in reinforcements and had to make sure that they brought back faces that fans were familiar with in order to stabilize the numbers coming off of season, I think that was 13. So that's the rumor that has been going around behind the scenes since Latoya left the show. So with that being said, if you are to believe that rumor or that alleged information that Andy is a huge fan of Latoya's, then one could probably say that he may be willing to bring her back and give her a second chance. Now, me thinking personally, Andy is a producer and an executive, and he can spot talent, for better or for worse. And so with that being said, if he did spot some type of iconic talent that's inside of Latoya the same way he saw it inside of Porsha, then we could see Latoya return, and her second go at being a housewife could be her most iconic and successful run. Now, kinfolk, it is another part of this rumor, and the last part of this rumor, that I find very interesting, and it has a lot to do with the current cast, Marlo and Sanya in particular, and it's this. Now, kinfolk, my sources are saying that even though these alleged conversations have been going on about a rumored overhaul and reboot of Real Housewives of Atlanta, behind the scenes, a lot of sources have been putting together their short list of individuals who they feel like should make a return back to the franchise. Now, as we all know, whenever a new housewife comes on the show, especially if there are two, then 9 times out of 10, a housewife is going to have to get demoted or let go altogether. For some reason, Atlanta is one of those franchises that producers only really see enough room for being only 6 ladies at a time. Even though we've seen how well the dynamic has worked in Potomac when they've had 7 ladies on the show at one time, and then almost 10 if you include the friend of the shows. It gives a lot of more content and producers a lot of more filming content to work with. But if you are to believe these rumors that Latoya could actually come back as a housewife, then one would have to look at the current cast. And the 2 people that I see probably losing their peaches or being demoted has to be Marlo and Sanya. Marlo won because fans have not been feeling her at all since she's gotten her peach. Marlo's saving grace is that this season it seems as if she has finally just stepped wholeheartedly into the villain role. And so as we all know, a reality TV show, especially a housewife franchise, needs a villain. So with that being said, Marlo Peach may be safe. But however, when you look at Sanya and what she brings to the show, it may not be strong enough for producers to say, hey, we're going to keep Sanya as a peach holder and we're going to bring Latoya in just as a friend of the show. Especially when Latoya right now, it looks like has a very juicy storyline in connection to the current cast members. So with that being said, I could possibly potentially see Sanya being demoted to a friend of the show and or not brought back next season. Now, that's a hard call to make because honestly, Sanya does have a lot of storyline left in her, including her family. But when you look at the ones who have the least amount of time with the show and the seniority of everything, it seems as if Sanya may be the odd person out. But kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think Latoya has a real chance at coming back to the franchise as a peach holder? Or do you think that this rumor and alleged information is not strong enough for her to come back as a peach holder, but maybe just as a friend of the show? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Alright, kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace.